I got one of them kind of jewelry. My son, he's going to school. He's 16, graduated high school last year.
Got it. What's up, folks? It's your boy TC with CS Files. Another episode coming to y'all from the place where it all goes down, the Barber Shop. That's right. We here at the Barber Shop. Amazing cuts over in Kennesaw, Georgia today, and today's episode is really just going to be filled with a whole lot of just conversation that most of us don't always get a chance to be in on. So, of course, I'm going to be playing with another little toy, try to make this thing look and feel right. But today I'm excited about being able to chat with some friends of mine and just be honest about what's really going on in the world today. Now, let me just welcome those of you who might be new to the episode. This is CS Files, common sense, right? CS Files, common sense, because common sense ain't common. I'm your boy TC, and we're going to pretty much just have a little dialogue as we do every Saturday. Today's episodes, though, is going to come straight from the barbershop, where it all goes down. Now, everybody knows the barbershop is the black man's country club, okay? So today, you're going to get an inside view of that country club. The goal is to simply talk about the things that we talk about. You know, if they listen to us in the barbershop, we solve all the world's problems on a pretty much weekly basis. The only problem is ain't nobody listening to us, so therefore all those great answers just go sitting on the table. But today we're going to talk about the three subjects that they say you're not supposed to talk about. First one being politics, second one being religion, and the third one being relationships. Relationships of all types. I'm going to kind of let the fellas take me where we really want to go there. But the whole goal is just to have some real honest dialogue about what's going on in the world today, in the area of politics, what our personal thoughts are, around religion. First of all, some of these cats might not even be religious, but I think for the most part, all of us are in one shape, form, or fashion. And then the rest of it is just about relationships, right? Men are built differently, and when it comes to relationships, this is an area that many of us struggle with because we're not as open about relationships as women. Women have a tendency to talk through things with girlfriends, are a little bit more open, or guys are a little bit more reserved. You know, we like to make people think we got it going on even when we don't. But either way, I'm going to talk to the fellas and see if we can get some perspectives on that and get some inside track in terms of some best tips that they might have around that. We might even grab a couple of customers and see what they got to say. So let's go on up in here again. Today I'm at Amazing Cuts in Kennesaw, Georgia. This is where it goes down for me every week. I know each of you probably have your favorite barbershop where you actually sit down and collab with the fellas, get caught up on the latest, talk sports, the whole 9 yards. Well, this is where it goes down for me on the weekly. I'm real particular about the barbershop because it's about talking with cats that really got some knowledge that they can put in your ear. You know what I'm saying? My thing is if you let them in your head, they need to be able to put something in your ear. So I like chopping it up with these fellas and really just talking about real world things. So y'all roll with me and let's go check out the barbershop, right? So the barbershop is just like most of you would imagine. It's the spot where it all goes down. The fellas is basically up in here doing what they do on a weekly basis. We in here basically getting cuts, making sure people fresh, watching the sports, whatever it might be, and basically just making sure that the problems of the world are solved. Now, in most cases, we really just about having dialogue with each other. It can get heated in here at times where we basically got cats that might agree or disagree. Everybody is fair game for jokes, so it ain't nothing to have somebody clown on somebody. But more importantly, you get an opportunity to really hear what cats are thinking about and basically be able to just put it out there in terms of just how they feel about a particular topic. And we keep it real up in here. Now, the reason we keep it real is because normally ain't nobody up in here but us. So we normally don't have to take ownership in the event somebody want to get their feelings hurt. But today, I'm again let y'all in on a little inside track. Hopefully hear from some of these cats in terms of giving you their honest opinions. And again, as I've already said, CS Files is about common sense. This ain't about right and wrong. This is just our opinions, how we feel about things. More importantly, how an individual might feel, and we always try to just respect what that is about. Right? So, the topics today are really around the very things that we always say we ain't supposed to do, which is talk about in public, and that's basically politics, religion, and relationships. Now, my thoughts to that is really because of the fact that people can get so diverse in their opinions that it normally causes problems. I don't think that's really the case. See, in the barbershop, it's really about you vetting how you feel, whether somebody like it or not. And so with that in mind, we're going to have those same conversations and basically just get some real raw opinions in terms of how people feel. Whether they actually agree or disagree is really not the point of the conversation. The conversation is really about just understanding somebody's opinion and respecting it, right or wrong or different, right? So we like to basically come in on a regular basis and sit down with our favorite barber. Normally how it goes down is you normally have somebody that you normally allow to cut you. And those cats really become your confidants, right? You talk with them on a weekly basis. You share with them things that a lot of times you might not be sharing with other people that you're close to. Because, again, they're in your head, they're in your ear. They're counselors as much as they are barbers, right? And in that, you really have a bond with cats that ultimately you trust. And in that, y'all share things and have conversations about your agreements or disagreements. So I would be remiss not to kick this off introducing y'all to my barber for the last 10 years. So, y'all know back in the day, we had our own little favorite spot over in Sandusky where it was all about Field the Barber, right? After I moved down to Atlanta, it took me a minute to really find the right cat to get in my head, more importantly, that I could trust in my ear. Because like I said, it's not just about in your head, it's about what's in your ear. So with that being said, I ran into a cat that just really clicked with me, and we were able to really chop it up on a personal level and have continued to be friends now for over 10 years here at this particular barbershop. And we continue to chop it up on and outside of the barbershop, and ultimately just found a lot of synergies in what we do. So I want to introduce y'all to my barber, Mr. Mark Hamilton. Been around in the game for probably more than 20, 30 years, but how long you been, let's start with that, Mark. How long you been cutting, man? How long you been cutting?
I've been cutting now probably for about 25 years.
25 years, so the man been at it. This is the dude that keep me right? I call him the magician, because y'all don't know what's going on up in there. Only Mark know. but that's the magic of a barber, right? Barbers do things to make people, to bring out the best in people, right? It's one of those situations where just having somebody that knows your head, knows your style, basically makes you feel good about yourself, brings your confidence level to a whole nother place, and then you get to go out of here and do what you do in the world, right? So I was just sharing with them that a big part of being in the barbershop is the mere fact that we come in here and talk about anything. Now, Mark and I have had some conversations up in this chair right here. Trust me when I tell you. Family, life in general, you name it, we done probably had a conversation in here at some point. And in this particular episode, as I mentioned, Mark, I just really wanted to basically kind of pick 3 subjects that you're not supposed to talk about: politics, religion, and relationships. And then just allow the world to kind of hear some inside thoughts on how some of us feel about those things. So Mark and I also attend the same church. So I'm a throw that one at Mark first, because this is probably an area where he can kind of give a little bit more insight to some of us as well. But let's just take the topic of religion. Now, religion is something that you'll find people either embrace, sort of embrace, or really don't embrace. And what I mean by that is there are different commitment levels to religion. There are different forms, as we know, of religion. And some people are a little bit more diehard with it than others. And then some, that ain't even a part of their life, right? You have to respect everybody's opinion to either be involved in some religion or not. But in today's current environment, Mark, what would you say the number one issue is in people embracing religion, and we can keep it broad. We don't have to be about a denominational thing. But your number one, because you sit and counsel a whole lot of cats in this chair, and this is why I'm telling people, barbers know things that you can't imagine. You counsel a lot of people will confide in you in the chair and say certain things. What are the number one issues facing religion as a whole for most cats that you actually cut? What are your thoughts on that?
To me, I think that a lot of people, when it comes to religion, they try to put God somewhat in a box, meaning that to identify and say that, you know, it's God, it's a white man's religion, God is black or God is white, and this and this. But what and I think through the teachings that I've gotten here at church, I started to understand that religion is a form and can be a form of bondage. And I think that that's one of the main things that I think I hear people saying is that they're just in bondage because they can't live up to or do certain things to add up to, and they have these thoughts that run through their mind. They have to be this perfect person. And I think that one of the things that I hear all the time is that people are just in bondage because they don't really understand that it's not about religion. Religion is man-made.
Right.
It's about a relationship.
It's about a relationship.
No,
you hit square on one of my first topics that I did with CS Files, which is a quick conversation about religion or relationship, and how the real goal really should be about relationship, and how we've gotten so off track with religion that we've lost that. You know, I think we talk a good game. I hear people talk about relationship, but they fall back into religion and the things that you gotta do to be accepted, or if I don't do this, or if I do that. It's so much about the do's and don'ts that we miss out on the whole vertical relationship that can really take it to the next level. And that's interesting to know that most guys that have that conversation are thinking the exact same thing. And therefore, I think what I find is a lot of people kind of shy away because you just don't want to be caught up in bondage. You don't want to be caught up in the do's and don'ts. And I think when we talk about religion, there's definitely more don'ts than do's. So it's almost like you don't get to live life to its fullest, right? Which is sad because it's really not about that. It is about relationship. It is about empowerment. It is about the ability to do bigger and better and beyond anything that you can imagine. And knowing that, you know, we are involved with a God that owns the universe, it is very difficult for me to comprehend the limitations that a God of that size, you right? You're talking about a God that has created the universe, but down here in my city, in my town, I can't do this, that, and the other. Really? Come on. Who is this guy? What God is this, right? I tell you another thing, perspective for me on religion is when I've been blessed to travel internationally. You know, we get caught up in our little do's and don'ts in our little city, in our little town, in our little church. And then when I travel around the world, people are doing things that ain't got nothing to do with your little town, your little city, your little religious little things. It's a whole other level. And ultimately have nothing to do with it. Look at, they just let anybody in the barber shop. Like anybody in the barber shop.
Just came up here.
We're running a live chat, so just more folk in the barbershop. So as we were saying, y'all, anything can go down in the barbershop. Go and introduce yourself and just tell them who you are, man.
My name is D-Lo.
How
we doing? What application is this?
So this is just Facebook, and we do a typical stream here. Okay. And at the end of the day, you know, I do a show every week called CS Files, right?
CS Files.
Common sense, because common sense ain't common.
Ain't common,
right?
Right?
So we basically just have some open dialogues about different topics.
Barbershop is a great place to do that.
So we're in the barbershop today, right?
Yeah.
Right? Common sense ain't common, right? So
what's the topic? We got a topic?
So today's topic, because we're in the barbershop, is everything that you're not supposed to talk about in public. Politics, religion, and relationships.
But we talk about that at the
But we
barbershop.
talk about that at the barbershop.
That's right.
So, which is about one of the few places you get that off. So I figured we would bring a little bit of the barbershop to the public and have some conversations on those three topics. So I just kicked off hollering at Mark about just the whole religion thing and how people, because again, barbers are counselors. They sitting in the chair talking to hundreds of people, and y'all got some common thoughts on how most people think because they done shared it with you. And so we started out by just kind of going through religion. How do most people feel? Mark hit it right on the head. Most people feel that it is about bondage more than freedom. It's about the do's and don'ts, or what I can do or shouldn't do and can't do. And I think because of that, people either shy away from really understanding it, or more importantly, miss relationship, which is what the whole goal is for God, is about relationship with you. Got nothing to do with religion.
I think a little bit more superficial than that.
Yeah.
People think that it's all about going to church on Sunday.
Well, again, that's the religion. That's the religion. I went to church this Sunday.
I'm good.
I done checked it in. I'm
You
good.
ain't nothing. What you doing? You ain't doing nothing.
Do nothing. Yeah, and there's a lot of that, and a lot of times I hear people say, you know, I'm trying to get it together, so I'm gonna just go on and get up into church today. I'm gonna go to church today, and again, they call that like a brownie point. Yeah, like that's gonna save me this week because I went. I don't know if you heard anything. More importantly, I don't know if anything stuck. And the bigger thing is, are you making any changes because you got a renewing of the mind? And so there is where it kind of falls off. And I think that until people understand that it's bigger than the do's and don'ts, you miss that, right? You miss that. But I think the conversation here is to know that we are all caught up thinking the same things. And that's why you need to talk about it, because people take that upon themselves to make that the sum total. And it's not. And the sad thing is then you miss the greater blessings that come from that, the greater teachings, the greater learnings, the greater life experiences of having a relationship with the Creator, right?
I'll tell you another thing, too. One of the things that I've realized here within the last 2 weeks is that a lot of times we get caught up in doing religious things, meaning that we get caught up in, if I do this, and if I do this law, if I work this principle, I'll get the fruit of my labor. And then you train a lot of people into reading books and watching other people that are successful and how they've done it. But then that's almost like a byproduct, because you really don't have a relationship like we're going back to with the Creator. Some people say God, whatever you choose to say. But the relationship, I think, is very important, because you can have all these things and not know God.
Yeah. Now that's real talk. And a lot of people, you know, I hear people all the time. I tell you, a common word these days is, you ask a brother how you doing, I'm blessed. Everybody blessed. Really? That's like a new thing. All the rappers are blessed. Like, I'm blessed. Okay, all right. Really? How's your lifestyle? Is it lining up anywhere? If you plan to be this, then, you know, if you claiming Christian, that means Christ-like. Is any of it lining up? I don't know. I'm not here to judge you, but I know we using the heck out of the word I'm blessed. Do you really understand what that means? I don't know if everybody does. Right now, it's a cool thing to say. I would hope that we take some time to really reflect on that, because there's more to that meaning, right, than meets the eye. And, you know, it is one thing to have a cool little saying, but it's another thing to have a real understanding, right? And we're all searching for that. Nobody has all the answers. That's why we come to the barber shop, y'all. We come to the barber shop.
Non-religious perspective. I'm not a religious person.
Okay. So this is good. So you're not a religious person. I wanted to meet somebody that wasn't necessarily religious. Huh? Okay, I got another non-religious person. So we got some non-religious cats.
Do I go to church?
Yep.
I might drive down the road.
Okay.
And see a church and be like, hey, you know, I'm going to stop right there today.
Okay.
I don't care what denomination it is.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
Because I want to hear a good message.
There you go.
Boom, bottom line.
There you go.
And I believe in doing well by others, period. Every day. When I make a decision, hey, do I give that $100 bill that I seen that dude drop, do I give it back to him?
Right.
Or do I put it in my pocket?
Right.
Keep rolling.
And call myself blessed today.
Right, exactly.
I've seen people do it.
Right, exactly. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm at the movie theater. That dude dropped some money.
Right.
Let me tap him on the shoulder, give him a man.
Right.
He dropped $100.
Right.
Boom, I'll give it to him.
Right.
Yo, so that's the springboard of, I think, my connection to whatever that being is.
Yeah.
Whatever energy
Whatever
that
you want to call that.
If I do the right thing every day, I think, you know, I fortify that connection. I don't know about religion. I don't know about book. I don't know about none of that other stuff.
There's some truth.
But I'm trying to do the right thing every day.
There's some truth.
I'm not perfect.
No.
Nobody is.
Yep.
But I'm trying to do the right thing.
You know, that's half the battle if we don't do anything but understand that there is some value while you're here in this physical earth suit and just doing the right thing, right? And it ain't rocket science what the right thing is. We all normally make our own decisions, And you know, all of us have had some halfway upbringings that will just about put you on track. What we choose to do is still up to us. And ultimately, I think that there is value here on earth in simply trying to do the right thing. And everybody can try and make that what you want, but we all know that it's pretty simple.
I was at the airport yesterday.
Yeah.
Young brother with his mother sitting right across from me. The young guy raises his voice at his mom. I thought in a disrespectful tone.
Right.
I started a conversation with him. We started talking about football, recruiting.
Right.
He played football. I pulled him over after about a half an hour conversation about football. I said, come here for a second. First, what you did about half an hour ago, when you raised your tone at your mom,
Right.
out of fucking bounds.
Right.
Out of bounds.
Right.
Flag on the play.
Right.
Don't ever do that again.
Right.
That's wrong. Right? Football is something else that you might do in the rest of it, but that one piece that you did incorrect hurt you forever because that's your mom.
That's disrespect.
What you doing?
Yeah, that's disrespect.
How's that?
Bible talk about that, you know, honor thy parents, right? If you want to live.
I think that we have a responsibility as OGs, I'm an older kind of dude, to check folks in a respectful tone itself. Because sometimes you say something crazy at the barbershop, walk outside, dudes want to pull out a gas.
Right.
Say,
Right.
Why you tell me to pull up my jeans?
Yeah.
Hey, come on. It was about, trying to make you a better person.
Right.
So we have to be respectful too.
I agree.
They feel like sometimes, why you think you check me just because you're older than me?
Right.
What's that about? Right.
And that's about doing it in the proper way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Basketball court. I got next. No problem, cool. 3 games go by, young guy comes in, says, no man, I got next. I said, yo man, you just walked up in here.
Yeah.
And what did I do? I put my arm around him, walked him off the court, walked to the side, and we had a conversation. It was my next.
Right.
I didn't disrespect him.
Yeah.
I didn't be like, no,
Right.
No,
You went on to put it to the side, put something in his ear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If I would have dissed him, he would have been, hey man, I'm going to my car.
Right.
I don't need that in my life. I don't need that.
Nobody needs that in their life.
Exactly. So I think we have a responsibility as old timers to kind of put it in there.
I like that.
And do it in the right way.
I like that. Now, there's great value in that as well, because I think, even as we talk about the subject of religion, you don't earn the right to even share your thoughts until you respect somebody, right? So as OGs, it's really about us having the insight to know that you have to earn the right, to be able to impart into a young cat. You can't, the last thing you're going to do is go up and disrespect a dude just because you ain't liking what you're seeing. You lose.
That's a great point.
You lose. So, and that goes both ways, but here's my point. If I'm the elder in this situation, then I should take on more of a responsibility. To whom much is given, much is required. So I'm saying as OGs, as the older cats normally in the room, it's up to us to know that there must be a level of respect that I give in order to earn the right to put something in your ear, right? He talking about cats wearing their pants crazy. You walk up on the dude talking about pull your stuff up. You blow him out right here and there live, and y'all know how we get out. Jimmy don't play that up in here, but I ain't never seen Jimmy blow nobody out. He'll walk up on the cat, tap him, hey man, blah 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 blah. Yeah, there's value to that.
The word earn is really important. You say earn.
You earn that.
You have conversation with folks, and you don't have your act together. So we're talking about community, right?
Yeah.
Look, man, if you don't have yourself in order first, if you don't have your family in order second, how you gonna help the community?
Yeah.
How you stepping up? How'd you earn that right?
Right.
You can't talk to nobody.
You right.
You ain't correct.
Yeah.
You don't have your job right. You don't have your credit right. You don't. Then your kids are running around crazy. You have 5 kids there, 4 kids here.
Yeah.
What you doing? How you gonna talk about let's build a community? Get yourself in order, man.
Right. Yeah.
Earn the right. Do
Earn
your
the
shit
right.
first.
Earn the right.
Then step to the community.
Earn the right.
I have some value to bring to the community now because I've done it.
Yeah.
But if you ain't done nothing, shut up.
That kind of leads into politics. It's like if you don't vote, don't be sitting around talking about how much you hate Trump, okay? If you ain't been to the polls in 15 years, you ain't got no comment to make, no matter how bad or good it is, right? No, that's good word.
I got a problem in the barbershop right now. We're not taking credit cards.
You don't agree with that? So let's go there. Let's go there.
You don't vote don't mean you don't have an opinion.
Let's go there right now.
Let's
so good dovetail to politics. Let's just talk about that. That's a great entry.
Yeah.
If you don't vote, Facebook fam, do you have the right to complain? I need y'all to comment back about that.
Yes, you do.
Huh? You got the right to complain?
Yeah. Because,
tell me how.
Because we all know we don't pick presidents.
That's a part of the process, though.
Hey,
That's a part of the process.
You still have a voice.
First and foremost, let's talk about voting at the level that really matters. Every time we talk about voting, everybody want to go to the presidency. Voting matters at your local level 100 times more than the national level.
Local judges.
There you go.
That's right.
Midterm elections. Local judges that's going to put your kids in jail.
I agree with that.
You know, sheriffs that's either right or wrong. Councilmen, all of those things. So when we talk about voting, let's talk about it at the grassroots level that really affects your life.
There you go.
And in that same situation, if you don't vote in your hometown, county, state, you got the right to complain?
You do not have the right to complain.
That's all I just wanted to say. Just keep it real. Because it's affecting you immediately, right? It's affecting you immediately. And it is something that I think a lot of us, and you know what? My wife and I had this conversation during the lab, and we have been getting more active with that. Traditionally, I'll just talk about my folk. My folk has been showing up for the presidential election and not paying attention to the midterms and those locals. And that's where it all go down.
And that's by design.
Okay? So we got to do better about making sure that we participate in all aspects of voting because it all rolls up, right? All rolls up. That's real. Yeah. Politics is a beast, and that which you don't understand, you will abuse. And for a lot of us, we don't understand that or haven't really put the time into that. So, yeah, that's a fact, too, for sure. So tell me right now, in the country that we live in, what is your biggest beef in national politics today? What's your biggest beef?
I don't really have a beef.
No beef?
I don't have a beef.
You good?
I'm good.
Just like it is.
I'm powerless.
Because that wasn't on a local level, huh?
Hey, I'm powerless.
Okay. Do you really feel powerless?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That no matter what you do from your own voice and involvement perspective, that you have no effect on DC?
None whatsoever. None.
There may be truth to that.
Yeah.
Mark, you feel like you're powerless in the United States right now?
No.
No?
Well,
let me hear
I don't
why.
want to make this a comment
What?
section.
A comic section?
Yeah, but
Mark, why are you not powerless at the federal level, right?
Is this straight politics?
Just straight politics, right?
I think collectively we have a voice.
Collectively, we have a voice? Mm-hmm. Agree.
And I think that we have the power to make changes. But what happens is a lot of people, when they have these meetings to make changes in our communities, even in our neighborhoods, and things like that, when they hold the meetings, no one show up. So they vote on things without the presence of a lot of people's input.
But that's local.
That's local again. So, and we just agreed that local politics flow up and have more of an impact. Yeah. So on the federal level, do you feel?
But what I'm saying is, it starts at that level.
I agree.
The habits of getting involved.
I agree.
The habits of going to the meetings.
Yeah.
And voicing your opinion starts at that level.
Yeah.
So I believe that you do have
as they say, practice makes perfect, right? If you don't practice it at the local level, probably ain't gonna practice it at the next level. Right? You're gonna be a little bit more
design going on.
There probably is, but I think a lot of that is also just knowing that you do have some power in the process. Otherwise, we all need to just lay down and let them roll steamrollers over us, which I ain't going out like that. That's for sure, right? Yeah, it can be what?
The power in the process is make your cheddar.
Make what?
Make your cheddar. Be responsible for yourself, right?
Yeah.
If you own assets in the community, if you own a crib, if you own a piece of property, you're more invested in what's going on in that neighborhood.
Right.
I'm getting a haircut, y'all, so, you know.
Right.
You gotta be quiet.
Agreed. Get back here and holler at a few of my other cats here. We got good word jumping off here in the barber shop today. Tad, what's good? You know me, I'm always good, man. I'm just I'm trying to get a feel for what's really going on in your world over here. So on the last two topics that we talked about, both religion and politics, the two topics they say you ain't supposed to talk about in public, because that's what we do here in the Black Man Country Club. What are your thoughts on religion in America? Let's start with that one. And I'm gonna take you from religion to relationship.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Religion to relationship.
Religion to relationship. I'm talking. We talked about religion and relationship, but I'm talking about religion and then relationships amongst humans, amongst women. That's where we're going next. But give me a thought on religion. Are you a religious man? Let me start with that. You're a religious man?
Yes, sir.
And so in that, do you feel that that is a necessary methodology? Because we're talking about religion is this combination of things that we do. Right?
I do.
That,
yes.
and do you feel that there is value in being religious?
Very much so.
And tell me why.
I think that you can't do it alone. There's no way you can do it by yourself. But I also think that we use it the wrong way. We try to use, whatever you believe in the wrong manner. Because most people want to use religion when it's not going well.
Yeah.
I think you should use it at all times. When it's going well, when it's going bad, at all times you need it. So I think that's, yeah.
We're going to see if we can't record through the mirror here. Bam! What?
For sure.
Because we doing it like that.
First of all, before we do this, what is this? This is amazing. I don't know if y'all see this, that TC has right here.
This the Evo. So it's a stabilizer, and you got the ability to swivel.
Yeah, you're doing a lot right here. This is amazing.
And all kinds of cool stuff there. So we trying to act like we filming for real up in this piece. But that's a mirror shot for y'all, right? So, bam, bam.
How you want to do it? Yes, sir.
This the barber shop, y'all. This how I go down. This is what we're doing it at, right?
You want
products at the barber shop.
Okay.
Y'all know we got to have products at the barber shop. Tools of the barber shop. We out here with all kinds of stuff.
Explain to me what this is that you're doing.
So, this is a weekly series called CS Files. And Common Sense. Because common sense ain't common.
That's a great day.
So the goal is simply, I'm working on trying to expand my public speaking.
Okay.
And ultimately, I wanted to do something with social media.
That's the number one hardest job in America.
Right. And it's what I do, I think, the best in terms of some of my skills. And so I wanted to use it as a platform to make me do more with my gift, right? I think we all should be working on our gift, whatever that is. And so this is a way for me to hold myself accountable for sharing, doing some commentaries, and it's a platform that, because it's my page, I can say what I want. Absolutely. So, I ain't have to have nobody come buy tickets, and with that being said, there are people who enjoy the conversation. So I'm just making it a Saturday thing where we have some conversation. It ain't about right and wrong. And then what better place than the barbershop to have some conversation about anything we want to talk about, including the subjects that say you ain't supposed to. So
the hardest one.
We're the hardest one. We here talking about the ones that say you ain't supposed to have conversation on. So it's all good. It's all good.
I enjoy that. I always enjoy it.
So my other topic I'm about to get into is just relationship, right?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
talking women, husband, wife, girlfriend relationships.
Okay.
What do you think? First of all, are you currently in?
No.
Okay, so this is good because you wilding right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He in search of. You doing a little wilding.
Yes, sir.
So what is the number one thing that you are looking for? And here's why I ask barbers, because see, y'all sit here and cut people, and you become counselors, and they tell you things that they don't tell nobody else. What would you say the number one thing, not only yourself, but most men who confide in you would say they're looking for in a relationship? So you done had a lot of conversations with a lot of men. That's what y'all do. What's the number one thing cats is really looking for in a relationship with a woman? What they're looking for?
I think most of the times we hear is 100% on both sides. Whatever you're doing, just let it be reciprocated back towards me.
Okay.
Don't let me take all of the weight, and don't let me hold all of it all the time. Because as men, we want to provide.
Right.
But we also need
We want somebody that's going to help us.
push us there.
A real helpmate, as the Bible say, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
That's probably the number one.
That's the
other
number
stuff
one?
you can deal with. The
Okay.
other stuff you can deal with all those. The stuff that come with that.
But finding a real helpmate,
Oh my God, that's one of the men.
is that, yeah. Now, does that differ for most cats depending on where they're at in the relationship game? You know, if you kind of in a relationship, does it make a difference versus a guy that's looking for a relationship?
I mean, I personally think so. I mean, if you're in a relationship and you've got some real time in, it's a little bit different for me starting out that first year.
Yeah.
You know, it's all, you're in heaven for the first 3-4 years.
Right.
Once you get that time in,
that's the honeymoon period.
Yeah, the honeymoon's over. Once you get that over with,
you
get down to business, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Somebody going to have to sacrifice, somebody going to have to compromise, and you're going to have to really learn each other.
Right.
I don't think you truly learn your mate for, I'll take a long time.
Long time.
Even if you get together 10 years, I still think that takes a long time.
Well, you hit a number on the head that I speak to all the time, 10 years. I say you don't know who you dealing with for about 10 years, right? And that's me personally, doing about 36 on the marriage tip. Been here and done all that. You understand what I'm saying? I think it takes 10 to know who you marry. You need about 10 good seasons.
So you tell me that the single man, when I get a woman, I got 10 good
you got 10 good years to really, truly know who you're dealing with. Real talk.
That's stressful just thinking about that right
Real talk. And you're going to be married to about 50 women during this time because we all change, right? She changing, she married about 50 guys. I mean, so you ain't got to go looking for grass on the other side. Stay with each other long enough. You're going to be married to different people anyways.
I'm learning. I'm trying to learn from y'all.
Yeah, and that's how it go down, for real. Yeah, for real. Yeah, that relationship game is rough, but I like what you said. You're looking for a helpmate. Most guys are looking for a woman that's going to bring 100% to the game so that y'all can really build on something. Now, I think for the most part, most women would probably agree that they're looking for someone in that same vein that would bring, the A game, in other words, and be willing to basically put up and sacrifice all that's really required to make that happen. Yeah.
How you doing, Bob? You waiting on anybody?
Yeah, it's still going down right here in the barber shop, y'all. This place really starts to jump here when we get it going. My man, doing what we doing. Frank, go on and tell them who you are, man. This is one of my other favorite barbers over here, y'all. Frank is a wise man. Frank, tell us about what you're doing over here, man. Cause
just cutting a little hair.
You cutting a little hair?
Bring somebody back to life.
Frank had the dopest shirt on last week. A couple of weeks ago when I came in, it said barber, and it had a definition for the barber. One of the words was magician. Magician. That's what they do.
Bring it to life.
Yeah, bring it to life.
They feel good about themselves.
Right.
We might be the only person to make them feel good.
Right.
We go home and don't even get a compliment.
Right. So when you get done with him, you be like, bruh, you right.
It's all on you now. I did my part.
Go make something of it.
That's it.
Yeah, magicians. That's a fact. Barbers have a level of being magicians. So, Frank, we on some really good topics here today, man, and I definitely know as a married man. Frank, tell me a little bit about yourself, man. How long you been married, first of all?
Going on 3 years now.
Frank new to the game.
New to the game.
But I think he done probably began to see the first line of what it's really all about. Yeah. What's the first 3 years been like in terms of just the relationship? And more importantly, how long did you know her before you married her?
Been knowing her for about 5 years.
Okay.
Prior to marrying her. I had a lot of doubts here and there that, you have to give them time to grow.
Right.
And once you realize they might have grew enough, then you say, okay.
Are we ready to do that? Okay.
After 3 years, you still realizing that was a myth.
Right. So the bottom line is it take time. I think we done heard that from both folks.
They're going to go through something every year. They stay another person.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I just told him, I said, stick around. You're going to be married to multiple women before it's over. And
I don't know who I'm going home to today. It all depends on what she cooks.
It depends on what she cooks.
Try something, I got my wife back. If she put something in the oven, I don't know who she is.
She trying to bake and get him right. See, she trying to do something for him. He ain't ready.
People go home and speak to the kids.
Right. Oh, that's why they talk to the kids?
Right, so we can see what mama do today. How mama feeling?
How she feel. Now, more importantly, what y'all done.
Right.
What
She made us do this and that. Well, I know
Right.
who I got there.
That's right. Whose team am I on today?
Should I stay down here? Should I go upstairs?
That's right. Straight to the media room. I feel you.
Day to day, you just love it as a
Day to day. What would you give from an advice perspective to any brother? So you 3 in. This is your first or second marriage?
This is my second marriage.
Second marriage. So let's go back to the first. How long was the first marriage?
6 years.
6 years. So a cat. Now here's a funny story that a good friend of mine told me, who had been married. I think he's been married 3 times now. But he said to me, T, when your second and third wife is complaining about the same things your first wife was complaining about, it's you.
It's you.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you, after doing it twice, is there anything that the second wife is complaining about that the first one was complaining about? Now you didn't have to tell her that the first one was complaining.
But actually, no.
No?
Sometimes
Okay,
I
you
think
got some new stuff that you're working
now
on.
now you just have to start off with the day you meet her,
Right.
or the day you meet the person you think you might want to be with. You have to be real honest that day.
That day.
You can't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah. So you got to take the dating face off immediately.
You have to, because other than that, you're gonna be eating crunchy rice, chicken that look good on the outside, bloody on the inside, biscuits raw on the inside, but look good. You're gonna have to endure that.
Right. Right.
Start off and doing it without correcting it, then enjoy the rest
And
of your marriage.
that's your life now.
So now you have to just be honest.
Yeah.
If you expect some things, ask for it then.
Right.
You know, if you don't expect anything, then you don't have nothing to worry about.
There you go. There you
Can't
go.
blame her for not doing it.
What would you say, as the counselor of many in this chair, that the number one complaint is of your customers, your men customers, that relationships cause for them? What's their number one complaint?
Women get real comfortable after a few years. After your 2 or 3 years, they forget about what works. So now they'll get mad about the attention that you may be getting outside of home. But if you're not still loving the man you married, if you're not still knowing how to rub his shoulders, give a massage on his head, just have certain things ready for him when he comes home, and just hug him for no reason, those things are the things that's important to us. We have to focus on y'all so much that y'all forget about focusing on us. So we got us on edge that we got to make sure we do this right. Make sure we pick our underwear right. Make sure we do this. But y'all ain't thinking about when's the last time you just gave a man out of the blue, or you just took care of the man. So they kind of lose focusing on them.
Focusing on them. Yeah, and I think that's a good lesson for everybody. That I heard it said before that in a relationship, my business is you, and your business is me, and therefore take care of your business, right? If I'm taking care of you, and you are equally handling taking care of me, then it'll work. So
you have no reason to be outside of home.
Yeah.
If everything is being all your boxes are being checked.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You got all these boxes, and half of them ain't being checked.
Right.
You wonder why she ain't hardly home, or you ain't
home. Yeah.
Check your boxes. Focus on home.
Check your boxes, fellas. Yeah, that's a good checklist to have.
Check your boxes.
Yeah, and that normally, like I said, that goes on throughout the entire marriage. And I think the other thing that somebody that's been in the game a little longer would tell you is that it always ends up being about the consistency of that as well.
Yeah.
What you get when you 10-20 in is, I need you to do what you did to get me, right, to keep me. And so all those things have to continue in order for it to have longevity. And the number one, I think, a complaint that I would say that I hear from women is those things falling off, us allowing life to just get in the way.
Like I said before, you got women that are complaining, you know what, I haven't had flowers in a while.
Yeah.
But then you also remember the day that you brought flowers and they sat on the kitchen table for 2 hours.
And wilted before they got to the right water.
Right. They never even made it to water. So now you don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
Because you didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
So appreciation is everything.
Okay.
You got to show appreciation for everything. Even if you don't think it's necessary, appreciate the little things. I don't care if he bought you a Snickers, put it in the refrigerator.
Right.
When you ate that Snickers, did you appreciate it then, or did you appreciate it when you bought it?
Gotcha.
You got to appreciate everything.
Yes, that's good talk too. That's good talk. That's good talk. Yeah, don't get me all the way right. Mark gonna just leave me all. This how they get you down over here, y'all. We be air blowing and all that up in here. My boy just left me haired. Left me haired. No, that's good word, man. That's good talk. That's for sure.
Good.
Yeah. Hopefully we learning some things up here in the barbershop today. This is where it really go down, because we talking to OGs and they ain't telling you what they think. They telling you what they know. There's a difference. Don't get it twisted. What we know. So let me just see who I got out here today, man. And we've been having some great little conversations over here. If y'all ain't figured it out, we at the Barber Shop today, because this is where it really go down. Welcome to the Black Man's Country Club. We up in here talking about the things that we ain't supposed to talk about: religion, politics, relationships. That's just what we do. And enjoying the dialogue, brothers being real, more importantly, thinking about the power that these barbers have as they are counselors. They sitting in chairs with men all day long, hearing their deepest thoughts, giving consulting services for free, and really just being a confidant to us on a weekly basis about everything that's going on in our lives. So if you really want to know how a man thinks, you probably want to get with a barber, especially a good barber that's got the right kind of cat sitting in his chair. Think about the networking opportunities that these guys have because of the clientele that literally sit in their chairs every week. It's really impressive when you think about what goes down here. More importantly, it's super impressive when you think about what you can learn at the barbershop. Now, for us, it's a combination of having a good time, just getting fresh, more importantly, coming and bonding with some cats, hopefully that's got some good vibes. You know, your barbershop is probably unique to your personality. That's the beauty of having so many barbershops. Mine happens to be unique to mine. I like hanging out with cats and talking about something, being about something. Most of these guys got other businesses on top of what they're doing, so we're constantly chopping it up and examining, you know, the next big thing. But more importantly, you know, we in here just like brothers, having good conversation and trying to help each other live a better life. You know what I'm saying? So let me see what's going on out here. So I got quite a few comments. What's going on, Robert Colson? And see a few of y'all done chimed in and chimed out. I saw some old friends there. Mr. Brian Gettin. Let me read a couple of these comments that I done missed because I was dead into it. DT, yeah, she used to be down here back in the day. What's up, D? My Amazing Cup family, that's right. And my Aunt Dorothy, of course, always in there hanging with me. Definitely tell Uncle Harry I love you too, Aunt Dorothy and all. That's quite a few of my folks in here. Nino, one of the biggest moments of the last 2 years was led by a man who didn't vote. So this is where we were talking about voting and the impact of voting and whether or not you should have a voice in voting. And more importantly, my thoughts is you should be involved in your local politics as much as you are in national politics, because local politics affect your immediate life. You know, who the sheriff is in your county, who the actual mayor is, who the immediate people in your world have far more effect on your lifestyle than what is happening at the national level. And so some of the cats here initially thought maybe that doesn't have as much of an impact, or they felt somewhat powerless about politics that are happening in D.C. But my advice to everybody is that it's really about making sure that you're involved in all levels, because practice makes perfect, right? If you practice it, doing it at the local levels, you'll definitely be involved at the federal levels. And I believe that you do have a voice as long as you vote, right? So let me just pause for the cause. Again, y'all see what we at. We doing it here in the Barber Shop. Always a good time up here with these cats because they just basically good dudes that's keeping it real. But let me see if I have any questions out there right now, or any other comments around the two subjects or three subjects that we've been talking about, which is politics, which is religion, and relationship, man and woman relationship. We're trying to, as OGs, give some of these younger cats some perspective, some words of wisdom that might help them either keep their woman or either get a woman when we talk about the relationship side of things. So anybody have any comments or questions out there? Because I think we're going to get ready to wrap this one up. It's about 4 o'clock. Hopefully you've enjoyed some of this candid conversation. Love kicking it here with my fellows. This is what I do every other Saturday. But it's always good to get caught up with them because, like I said, we chop it up and talk about real things. Don't see anyone right off. I think I see Bill P's shop up here. I see a P. Oh, that's Bill Hill. My bad. What else we got out here? Quite
Preach,
a
my
few.
people, hold it
All
down.
right, now that's what's really happening right there. Real talk in the shop. Yeah. So let me just once again thank all of you guys for joining in, man. I really appreciate you. I'm just having fun with this thing. Hopefully it's something that you're enjoying on a Saturday afternoon where I get out here and just try and have some real live conversations with some real people. More importantly, have some real conversations about common sense things, because common sense, as we know, ain't common. This is now my 9th episode. I'm really looking forward to keeping this thing going and ultimately figuring out some ways of making this thing go to the next level. This is me trying to expand on my gift, making sure that I spend time developing it and figuring out a way to really play in social media. Who knows where it'll go? You know, it might just be a Saturday thing. We may be able to get it off to another level. We got a YouTube page up. Please go over and join me and subscribe to my new YouTube channel for those that maybe not, you know, right here on the actual Facebook page. And then I should have a podcast up and running here shortly as well. So shout out to my cousin Sam Beasy, taking care of all my social media platforms in the background for me. And then a shout out to all of y'all that's joining in on Saturday, just checking out the feed either live or after the fact. Please subscribe, share this video with others, share all my videos. Let's get those actual views up. And then again, I look forward to seeing you guys next Saturday at the same time. Who knows what we'll be talking about, but hopefully it'll be interesting. And I look forward to, more importantly, having you guys join in. So I'm your boy TC, broadcasting to y'all live from the Barber Shop. And I'm hoping y'all have a fantastic Saturday. Have an absolutely great week. Go do the things that you really, really enjoy twice and do the bad things once. End of day story is, don't do nothing in life that ain't good for you or good to you. That's coming directly from me. You can quote that one, take that one to the bank. All right, y'all have a great Saturday. We'll check y'all out next week. Feel free to inbox me if you have any comments or topics that you want to talk about or things that you'd like to see me do with this broadcast. I'm still just gathering information to figure out how I'm going to take this thing to the next level. Again, I appreciate y'all for joining in. Have an absolutely fantastic Saturday, and I'll talk to y'all next week.